I started trading options about 5 months ago, and so far I have earned over 30,000 euros, so about $36,000 in profits, and even more if I close all the trades. So I'm talking only about realized profits. And this is not my primary source of income. I earn money through my businesses, but because I'm in trading space and own a couple of pretty successful trading businesses, I've decided to trade options. And why I've decided to trade options is because it doesn't take that much time. And why? Because I'm already interested in stocks, I'm already interested in other businesses. And when I read, when I discover something interesting, I tend to keep in the loop, keep it up, invest, buy options, sell options, buy stocks, and sell shares. So, what I'd like to do in this video is just explain what was the journey, how I started, what is my first touch with stocks and trading, and where I am so far. So, first time I started trading was when I was second year of university, and I was buying pink sheets, so OTC shares, and those were very risky, extremely risky, but I found that you can earn more money faster, and that's usually the biggest mistake that I see today in everybody who trades with our products. We have over 360,000 or 400,000, I don't know what's the exact last number, of traders trading actively per month. I'm not involved in day-to-day operations of most of my businesses, but what I remember is a lot of traders just lose money short term, and almost nobody earns money long term. And this is because 1% in a month is not enough for people. And it's probably not enough because 1% of 1,000 it's $10. 1% of a million is $10,000. You can live with 10,000, but you cannot live with 10. So 1% on a small amount means nothing. So they're trying to risk a lot of money, and that's what I did in the past. I remember it was during regulation of hemp in Canada, when Canada was allowing you to buy and sell CBD products for the first time. And there were some stocks that were pretty interesting, that were skyrocketing. I have videos of me earning a couple of $100, which was a lot of money for me at that time, and then losing 800 the next day. And some of my worst days, most stressful days at that time, were when I lost a couple of $100 in a day. And I basically traded like for 3 months, lost about 4,000 euros. That was everything I had saved that at that time, and then I stopped, and it was extremely stressful. That was a long time ago, like more than 10 years ago. And I always knew that there's a way to make this work. I just didn't have enough money and time to continue. And from then on, I decided not to trade. And my reasoning why not to trade was, even if I knew how to trade, I would not earn and develop good enough skills for me to feel safe that I don't ever need to make money again, or never need to worry about money again. I believe that it's always, if you're trading stocks, it's always some kind of outside influence that can mess it up, mess your whole plan up. And then what you're gonna do? Imagine you do this for 10 years, you somehow lose everything. What are you gonna do? How are you gonna be useful if you don't have any other skill but trading? So I've decided at that time to build myself up as a businessman and focus only on business, forget about trading. And I really never traded until recently anymore. During COVID, when this big drop of the stock market happened, I invested a lot of money at that time into S&P 500, and I started trading some stocks, some dividend stocks that were also priced at the very bottom. And this was my strategy for the dividend stocks. I said, okay, if the price is so low and their financials are so good and they're selling products that you cannot afford not to pay. So for example, electricity, internet bill, cloud services. If you get that invoice, you cannot afford to avoid paying it. You have to pay for the internet. You cannot avoid it. So that's those are the stocks I was buying, like for example AT&T and Verizon, and a lot more, of course. And those were usually 4 to 6% dividend stocks. And as they grew, my ROI was of course higher than that. And usually what happened, and I was doing this for a couple of years until recently, what happened was the stock would usually increase by at least 50 to 80, 90%. I thought, okay, am I going to wait for another 10 years to collect the dividend, or I'm going to sell? Because those shares did not have a history of just going up, they were also going down. So if I got 50 or more percent profit, I just sold that share and got a high return. And there was always a new dividend stock that also dropped at that time, had a big discount. I would buy it and basically just rotate money to another one. And it worked very well. It was completely passive. I didn't have to think about it. I stopped thinking about the stock as soon as I bought it and thought about it again when it grew. And then I had to sell it and think about the next stock. That's all the time that I had to invest into it. And when Trump, 6 months ago in April 2025, announced the tariffs, I sold everything and I said, okay, let's see what happens. And at that time, it was April, I decided to start learning options. And I already knew that I wanted to trade options because out of all the instruments that I understood, options were, in my view, the safest instrument where I can consistently earn money. So in April, I went for a knee surgery. I was lying down in bed for 6 weeks. Besides working, I had nothing else to do but lay down and go to therapy sometimes. So what I did is, when I sold all these stocks, I decided to start selling options. And at that time, I had a rule. I will only sell options if I, at minimum, am able to earn $2,000 per month. And that was enough to cover some of my expenses. And I said, okay, if I can cover those, I don't care about earning 50%, 100%. I just want to earn consistent 2,000 per month by selling options. And if you're an option seller, you know that's easily possible. And I had around, I think it was exactly 197,000, or a little bit less. And that's all I knew for starters. I knew how to buy dividend stocks that could double, that I don't need to think about, and I knew how to sell options. I'm not a trader, reminding you, I'm not a trader. I own a couple of businesses in trading, so I know all the guys that are good traders, and I know a lot of bad traders, and I know how rare it is to earn money trading. So when I started selling options, I missed out on a big opportunity, which is I found good stocks. So I already knew how to find good stocks because I own businesses. I can read the P&L, I can understand the industry, I can see who the team is, who the leader is, and I know what's important in the business. And I picked all the correct stocks. All of them grew at least double, but I sold options on them instead of buying them, or instead of buying options on them. And that's fine because I was earning consistent income, but it's also bad because selling options is great for hedging, but there was nothing to hedge against. Trump was the only reason why the stocks dropped, but the threat was not, let's be honest, that it wasn't real. And if I bought at the discount and I just held, or if I went long 6-12 months with a call and buying call, I would probably earn much more today, about 200-300%. This way I'm at around 25% in 5 months. And that was the first 2-3 months, 4 months even. I was just selling options and very rarely buying stocks. And my highest month was in May. I earned 16,000, but then I also had to lose a lot of profits and reduce the profits just so that I can earn much more. But anyways, it's a long story. What happened was I was selling options, earning about $6,000 in profit every month, and then I decided to do what was very obvious to me. I was selling options on UnitedHealth Management. It was a company that dropped from $600 to $230. And in my view, it was so resistant, such a profitable company, such a huge flywheel of a company, that it was impossible that it goes bankrupt, basically. And I was always joking, like, it's a company Warren Buffett would invest in. And around around August, I by accident sold my shares because I missed click, and I didn't even sell them in profit. I sold them at $2,000 loss, and I was thinking about buying those, but I was so pissed because if I lost them on my trading mistake, I wouldn't mind, but I missed click. And I was just traveling at that time. I was very in a hurry, and I was just trying to close some positions, some options early, and I by accident sold my shares, and I didn't buy them. But what I was mentioning, that Warren Buffett would buy this stock, how good it is, and that's a prime example of a stock that Warren Buffett would buy. It actually happened. So Warren Buffett bought this stock, and it was all over the news. So I said, okay, I gotta go long, and I bought calls with expiry on my birthday in December, and I sold it at about 16,000 profit. It wasn't 60,000 how much I envisioned, but I expected it to grow much faster, which I believe it will get to about $450 sooner or later. But I'm fine with what I earned with UNH. So I realized that sometimes stocks drop, and it's so obvious sometimes that it'll inevitably go back to the same price. It's just a matter of time. It won't happen in a day, and usually that doesn't happen in a day or a week or even a few weeks. But in 6, 12, 24 months, it happens that the stock, if it's good quality, will go back up to its current price, especially the best stocks, the most profitable companies. Good traders, good investors know this, that when a share stock price drops, it's just at the discount. There's no threat there. It's just what the market, it's just that the people who don't understand sell and panic. So that's when I realized, hey, if I was just buying stocks, I would earn much more. And then I started doing the wheel strategy much more often, which means you buy a stock, you sell a put, and you cover a call on it all at the same time. And I started doing that more and more often, and I still do it. Nowadays, my favorite strategy is selling puts on a quality stock. The premium from selling the puts covers the premium from buying the calls that are 3 to 6 months calls, and then I buy the shares as well and cover the call. I don't know what that strategy is called, but it's basically zero risk for me, and I earn in 4 ways, and that's what I'm doing right now with Figma, with QuantWheel, and a lot of others. And I'm not limiting myself to just selling puts, which I'm very proud of, that I've learned how to read the stock, the market, I'm able to predict what's happening with the stock, why it's happening. I look for the signals that are very obvious now to me, more and more obvious. But I started with just one strategy, and I was just adding a new one every time I saw there was potential, it was obvious. And that's the beauty, in my opinion, of the stock market and options trading. And that is, there is always an opportunity. Sooner or later, that is obvious. And if something is not obvious, you are risking. And I think I'm very good at noticing what is very obvious to me, and I rarely make a mistake. If something is obvious, even in business, or if it's stock trading, I don't remember I lost. So that's what I'm going to continue. This is now 5th month or 6th month of my options trading journey, and I'm spending maybe 1 hour per week doing this. All the research is done on the way and very quickly. I already know what to look at, where to look, and it's the month number 6. My goal is to do this for 24 months, have a clear route to profits and proof how profitable I am, and then see what's next. In the meantime, we're building something I'm very passionate about. We're building QuantWheel, which is an option trading toolkit. You can find best options to sell. Soon you'll be able to find best options to buy. You can look for different stocks. You can journal. You can copy trades. And you can earn money copy trading and earn money by being copied. So a lot of these things are coming soon. And what I'm excited about the most is creating your own rules for automated trading. So if, for example, you say if Apple drops 5% in a day, buy call with a 7-day expiry if the premium is not more than 1%. Like, I'm just making this up, of course, but you can create your own algorithm to trade for you. All of this is coming in the future. So if you're interested, just go to QuantWheel.com. We're looking for educators, for people who know how to trade options, who want to teach others, who want to be partners, ambassadors of the product, and I'm sure there'll be other opportunities to work together in the future. So this is just an update. It's month 5 or 6 right now, October 27th, while I'm recording this, and I'm just going to record this at the end of this year and then every single quarter. So thanks for watching, and let's see if I manage to continue being profitable.